So today we're going to talk about Saudi Arabia. So the other day, real estate consultancy firm Knight Frank came out and called Saudi Arabia the largest construction site in the world. And they upped the estimate on the amount of construction Saudi is spending to over a trillion, 1.1 trillion USD, and with all this to be spent by the year 2030, in line with the Crown Prince's Vision 2030 plan. Just to go over the obscene amount that they're building. For one, they're building the $500 billion, that's 500 billion USD NEOM, which includes the world's first linear city, which is going to go 100 miles, which is pretty bonkers. You have the Duria, which is a 40 billion USD Colonial Williamsburg-esque project that will revolve around 1,700 Saudi residents where they came to power. You're going to have the Mala and the Red Sea projects, which are both multi-billion-dollar luxury sustainable seaside resorts. You have the Qiddiya, which is a theme park, 2.5 times the size of Disney World in Orlando. You have 147 billion USD airport going to be built in Riyadh, which they just announced the other day. They have $500 million USD they're spending on a health and wellness district called the Riyadh Sports Boulevard, which it sounds to me like, you would imagine if you took New York's High Line and Atlanta's Beltway. They had a baby. Now imagine you pump that baby full of steroids and that it could afford all the Bottega Veneta it wanted. That's going to be what this project's going to be. It seems ridiculous. On top of that, you're spending 14 billion USD on new hospitals, which you have to consider the average hospital cost is between 60 and 190 million USD. So that's a ton of hospitals. Then 82 billion USD on 80 new schools over the next 7.5 years. On top of all this, Hilton, the hotel chain, they plan on opening 75 additional hotels, and right now they only have like 15 or 16. The Radisson alone is opening an additional 20 plus hotels in the next 3 years. And then on top of all this, you have an office space and construction boom. I mean, commercial real estate, they're trying to attract businesses to move away from Dubai and then pick Riyadh as their Middle Eastern business hub. But then on the residential side, which I don't usually get into residential real estate, it's going bananas. As estimates from Knight Frank show that around 30% of the Saudi population can afford about an 800,000 USD domestic vacation home, like a second home. So construction companies are taking advantage of that, and they're building homes like hotcakes to meet demand. And the reason I bring all this up is that this is all happening within the next 7.5 years. Again, Knight Frank called Saudi Arabia the world's largest construction site. So you need to figure out how you're going to take advantage of this. I mean, if you are a teacher, you might want to consider eventually working in one of those schools, 80 brand new schools, because the salaries they pay really well. If you're a doctor, maybe consider working in one of the many new hospitals being built. If you're construction, figure out to get a piece. Property technology, try to sell your technology to all the new smart buildings and luxury properties and hotels and sporting and entertainment events being built. There's just so much money being spent that it'd be a shame not to try to dip your beak in and get a piece. But that having been said, please let me know what you think of the content. Is it too long? Is it too short? Please give your feedback. Thanks.